Hello class! Alam niyo ba yung pinakamahirap sa akin kapag uumpisahan ko yung MIL vlog series ko? Yun yung magsasabi ako ng Hello, welcome to MIL episode 3. Kasi sobrang cringe talaga, no? Pero anyway, welcome to the third episode of our MILtv. So class, we are now together for a week and somehow you already have given me quite an impression. So I was just done checking your performance task and your output for your module 1 and some of you were surprisingly good and very creative. Kasi I really love it when students put a little extra, kumbaga sa seasoning, ano? Gustong gusto ko yan kapag ang estudyante sinusobrahan niya yung ginagawa niyang trabaho. Upon seeing your works that you have submitted to me, napag-isipan ko na, maganda siguro kung weekly magpo-post ako, magfi-feature ako ng best output of the week. Previously, we have discussed about the meaning of media and information literacy and the different forms of media as well as the stages or elements of information literacy. We also talked about how powerful media is as well as what are your latest engagements sa mga different forms of media. For this week, we will delve on to the evolution of traditional media to the new media. Hindi ko kinaya yung pagpalakpak. May lamok kasi. Okay, so ganito class. Do you remember when Titanic sank in the Atlantic Ocean noong April 14, 1912, how do you think the news reached the people of England and New York during that time? Since 1900s na yon, they already have the telephone, newspaper, telegraphs, and letters. Now class, if the Titanic sank today, in what format do you think the people would receive and read the news? And what do you think are the could have beens during that time? For this week's discussion, we will know how thus media and information evolved throughout the history. The evolution of media is divided into 4 periods, such as first one is the pre-industrial age, then the industrial age, then comes the electronic age, and lastly is the information age. Let us begin with the pre-industrial age. That is nung unang panahon, not just the panahon pa ng Hapon, mas older pa doon. That was before 1700s. During this period, people discovered fire, developed paper from plants, and they forged weapons and tools from stone, copper, bronze, and iron. Well, maybe you wouldn't imagine, but from a simple fire, yung mga nomads noon, nagagamit na nila yon to convey an information. Pwede na nila yung gamitin as signal. Now, you can consider that as their form of media. Here are the examples of the pre-industrial age media. We have the cave paintings during 35,000 BC, the papyrus in Egypt during 2500 BC, followed by the clay tables in Mesopotamia during 2400 BC, then the Acta Diurna in Rome during 130 BC, followed by the Dibao in China during the 2nd century, then the Codex in the Mayan region during the 5th century, and the printing press using wood blocks during 220 AD. What are the common purpose of those medium during the pre-industrial age is that number 1, they use those mediums to communicate their rules, especially in the rise of the different civilizations. So to transcribe important events as well as their rituals that mirrors their culture. Kaya nga, dahil sa mga remains na yon, we are still able to study them and interpret their culture. Now comes the rise of the industrial age during 1700s to 1900s. People used the power of steam developed machine tools, established iron production, and the manufacturing of various products including books through the printing press. Since industrialization age na ito, mas lumawak yung access ng mga tao sa media. Dahil nagkaroon na ng mass production through the printing press during the 19th century. Tapos, rose the newspaper. So, nagsimula sa the London Gazette during 1640. Then, nagkaroon ng typewriter noong 1800s. Then, telephone, 1876. Motion picture photography or projection noong 1890. Commercial motion pictures noong 1913. Motion picture with sound, 1926. Then, they had the telegraph and the punch cards. Lastly, industrialization age was a period of enlightenment, intellect, and many different inventions. Now we go to the electronic age during the 1930s to the 1980s, so somehow like the aesthetic age of media. The invention of the transistor ushered in the electronic age. People harnessed the power of transistors that led to the transistor radio, electronic circuits, and the early computers. In this age, long-distance communication became more efficient. So during this period, we already have a transistor radio, television, nagsimula noong 1941, large electronic computers, the EDSAC, 1949, and UNIVAC 1, 1951. Then the mainframe computers, IBM 704 during the 1960, personal computers, the Hewlett-Packard 91008 or 1968, and the Apple I, 1976. Also, nagkaroon na rin ng OCP and LCD projectors. Finally, we move on to the information age, and that is during the 1900s to the 20s. So, yun yung panahon natin ngayon. So, the internet paved the way for faster communication and the creation of the social network. People advanced the use of microelectronics with the invention of personal computers, mobile devices, and wearable technology. Moreover, voice, image, sound, and data are digitalized. So, we are now living in the information age. So, for example, nagkaroon ng web browsers, yung mga kauna-unahan, yung Mosaic, 1993, and the Internet Explorer, 1995. Then, sa blogs, mayroon na ng Blogspot. Nakagamit ako nitong Blogspot before. 1999, but not during 1999. I was only 2 years old during that year. Live Journal, 1999. WordPress, 2003. So, meron pa rin yan hanggang ngayon. Social networks, Friendster. Hindi na ako nagkaroon ng Friendster. Facebook na ako kagad. 2002 yung Friendster. So, Multiply, 2003, and then Facebook, 2004. But, again, not 2004 ako nagkaroon noon. So, next is the microblogs. So, microblogs yung Twitter, 2006. Tumblr, 2007. Yung YouTube ay 2005 siya. Then, we have the augmented reality or the virtual reality. Yung mga VR na yan. VR, sure ba? Video chat, Skype, 2003. So, I imagine before, wala pang features ng video chatting yung Facebook. Skype talaga meron. Skype lang. So, Google Hangouts, 2013. So, the search engines, actually, yung Google ay during 1996, as yung Yahoo, 1995. Then, the portable computers, laptop, nung 1980, meron netbooks, 2008, tablets, 1993. And we also now have smartphones. Would you imagine, meron din sariling evolution yung mga cellphones natin. And the wearable technology, nowadays, meron ng mga Apple Watches, mga smartwatches din, ano? And many more. So, cloud and big data. And now for your weekly task. The challenge for this week is to create a timeline of the evolution of traditional media to new media via slideshow. So, bahala na kayo what type of editor you are going to use. Dito, aabangan ko ulit yung creativity ninyo. Tapos, pipili ako ng i-feature na ipopost ko sa ating page. So, make sure na you pick examples that would represent the pre-industrial age, the industrial age, electronic age, and the information age. And also, do not forget to give those examples a description.